Welcome to take two, Running from Pixels episode 1, where I talk about the Intellivision Amico. Now, I recently uploaded this video, or this live podcast, or whatever you want to call it. But like I said, my first one, so I'm still working with the streaming software, and the end of my video, last 5 minutes, was cut off. So that kind of sucked. So I'm gonna have to go through the whole thing all over again, which is fine because it gives me a little more time to gather my thoughts. Now, in this video or in this first podcast of Running from Pixels, I'm gonna be talking about the Intellivision Amico and giving my final thoughts on it until the actual console comes out. So let's get into it. So I've been gaming for all my life, just like pretty much anybody who's listening to this or who follows my channel. I started with the Atari. I skipped the Amico, so I have no emotional relationship attached to it. So I'm coming in from that angle. Someone who played retro games back in the day, grew up on them, but who kind of moved on with the times. And once I got newer consoles, I gave my older consoles away to either family members, friends, or whoever. The only one that I ever kept was my 3DS because it's a Zelda themed one, and I have my current gen consoles now. Now, so like I said, I've been gaming since back in the day, but I had no emotional connection to Amico. So I'm thinking that I guess I can have like clear eyes going into it. I have no stake in the game, so I'm just gonna give you my thoughts on it. Now, the Intellivision Amico is a recreation of the old Intellivision Amico. This one is created by Tommy Tellerico. He was able to get the name of the Intellivision, and he's gonna be launching a system based on that console. Now, there is a lot of controversy surrounding this, as there would with launching any new console. Especially given all the retro consoles that launched in the past, the Atari VCS, the ColecoVision, and so on. So there's a lot of questions regarding the Amico, obviously. Now, the way that it was funded is interesting, to say the least. It was funded through crowdsourcing, Big, which is actually, well, I think they're no longer anymore. I think they become Republic. But either way, they're actually a pretty cool site. Oh, my cat's up here. Hi, Pixie. Let me put it right down. There's actually a cool site where you're able to invest in ideas, and if the idea pops, then you get residuals on that idea. So once you cover the cost or whatever of the item, then you pretty much make some money on your investment. Now, if the item turns out to be a dud, or if it doesn't come out, then I guess you lose your money on your investment. So just like any other investment, it's risky, but this one is catered towards more the creative individual instead of the stock market. So, I mean, if you want to create a vacuum, I don't know, use Fig or Republic and see what you can create. So, there's a lot of investors pretty much invested into this console and invested that it comes out. Now, the reason why I looked into it was because I was trying to get back into my retro roots, and I was looking at all my options, and it's gonna be expensive to actually buy all these consoles again, which I'm not gonna do. I'm probably gonna get a Raspberry Pi, but I was looking to the Amico because I was interested. But once I saw the games, my interest pretty much deflated. The games are not for me. The one thing I don't like about the games is the artwork for most of them. They're Flash games. They look like Flash games. And that's the kind of artwork that they're going for. And it just doesn't interest me that much. Now, we did see Flying Tigers or whatever that airplane one, and it looks like they're using pixels, so we'll see. But the games don't really seem to be worth it for me. I'm not looking to play cornhole. I have a freaking VR set, so if I wanted to play some kind of cornhole, and I can do it in VR, and I'll actually be there, or kind of be there. Or I have the Switch, I can play golf, bowling, whatever I want. So the games, they have like Shark, which is like a Flash game where we all play, where you are one small shark and you eat a bigger shark and you keep on growing, or whatever, you eat a smaller shark and you keep on growing, and so on. But I mean, we play that in so many different systems. They have Astro Blast, okay, cool, but I mean, come on, $250? uh, for these games. Nah, man. See, when you look at the games and you look at the console, $250 is just way too much. So that's when I realized that this console was not for me. It costs too much and the games aren't worth it. But I am not a freaking Intellivision fan. I've never been a fan, so these games don't speak to me. If this was a Dreamcast, on the other hand, and they were gonna make Choo Choo Rocket number 2 or 3 or whatever, and Raider Rumble number 5, and they're actually looking pretty cool, I might jump in. You know, even if the graphics weren't that great, even if they used cheap graphics from back in the day, because I love that system. So I understand where they're coming from when they look at the games, even though they're flash games and it may not be that impressive. I can understand that emotional connection. And I can understand spending $250 for those. I won't do it, but I can understand that how someone would do it. Now, the reason why I am making a video pretty much about the Amico is because I started following a lot of the players in the Amico Wars. And that's pretty much what's happening right now, the Amico Wars. On one side, we have a bunch of people who are excited for the Amico because they grew up with it. And for it, they're getting a lot of backlash. Now, the backlash is deserved, you know, because you're putting yourself out in a public setting. So, yeah, people are going to react to it. And it comes with the territory, especially if you're going to be used in advertising for the Amico. And especially if you're going to be used on their channel, on their YouTube channel. And a lot of them were. But the thing is, I think it's not necessarily that they're being used by Amico, but it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship. It's just a CEO of a game company that's trying to connect with the fans. And vice versa, pretty much. Now, if an Xbox guy like me or anybody else had the opportunity to sit down with Phil Spencer to see his next creation, even if it wasn't a part of Xbox, maybe he had a console launching, a lot of people would sit down with the opportunity to ask him these questions and geek out too. So I can understand where these guys are coming from. And to call them a cult because they're excited about spending time with the CEO of a company for a console that they are excited for, that they grew up with, it's not fair, to say the least. Now, there are some of these guys that are a little awkward. I will give you guys that. Like I said, I've been digging into a lot of their videos, watching so much stuff. I have nothing to do right now. I really don't. I'm looking for a job and everything. My life is good. Don't get it twisted. But I'm looking to actually get back into the job market because I got my vaccine. I'm all good to go. I'm ready to start working again. But I'm taking my time until I find the right job, man. Chill. But so I have a lot of time in my hands right now, and so I took this opportunity to dig into these channels, see what makes them tick. And yes, a lot of these guys are awkward. But they're friendly. They're friendly awkward. There's those awkward kids that we all saw at school that, they would bust out their little Game Boys during lunch and they'll kind of huddle up in a little corner and just kind of geek out and have fun. And there was nothing necessarily wrong with them. They were just a little socially awkward and they're happy to find each other and bond. And in this case, it's the same scenario. A few of them are awkward and they're bonding over this video game that they like. But not all of them are awkward. Just like we're all gamers, so we're all kind of awkward. But some of us are just a little bit more cooler mainstream than others because that's just the way we grew up, just different circumstances. And there are some of them that are genuine, just normal people. For example, Retro Bro. I came across his channel a few weeks ago. I've been watching his videos, his podcasts. The way he treats these strangers in his house, invites them over like 20 deep, and just gives them hospitality. It's like he comes off as a normal guy. He's not awkward. Even the awkward ones though are pretty cool. I had a video last week when I first asked if the Amico was a scam, and I had a Relic Gamer come into my channel and talk to me about it because I had questions about the controller and if people actually use the controller because I see no footage of it. And he explained that he did, not on all the games, but he did use it on some. And I don't see how they have a reason to lie. Now I went to his channel, and his channel is it's a little weird. Like I don't understand what his videos are about. His channel's not for me. But I mean, he came off as a genuine guy. He wasn't mean. He wasn't, he answered my questions and peace. He left out. I also came across who was his name? DJC Entertainment or something like that. Because of the haters, because one in particular, and when I came across his channel, that dude was funny as balls, man. The way he does his intros, how he does his little fingers on the camera each time, and I know he don't know exactly what he's gonna do each time. Sometimes he just does it on the fly, and he thinks about himself, and he's like, fuck, man, like, what the hell is that? It's like funny stuff, So a lot of these guys seem like good guys that are geeking out, and they're actually, being inclusive, letting all the weird ones in too. They have a girl there that she seemed pretty cool too. She always gives her genuine thoughts. I've been following her channel for a couple of weeks, listening to her podcast all the time. And, she's just straight up. If you're going to come being all raunchy to her channel and talk shit, then she's going to, just ignore you. But if you're going to actually come out with some, legit criticism, then they just kind of, they listen. Now, there are some that took things too personal, especially with the haters. Oh, wrong one. Especially with the haters. But, that's just how the territory goes. Now, I want to show you guys that these Amico cult guys are just, having fun. They're not taking things too seriously. They've been given the opportunity to hang out with Tommy, try out these systems, so, and have fun, so why not? And I want to show you guys how much fun they're actually having. I mean, I would be there. I would go. I would hang out with these guys and have a freaking White Claw. Let me show you this video that I found from Retro Bros' channel recently.
Telling you guys, if you say Tommy 3 times in the mirror, he will appear.
Chuck, that's ridiculous.
No,
we're not in 7th grade,
man. Dude, I'm telling you, believe it. Believe in the cult. Why not?
That stuff doesn't happen.
In the cult.
That's just people
I'm telling you.
on the internet.
Wait, what do we do? What do we do?
Trust me.
Okay, Chuck,
I'm telling you, we're going to turn the light off. I'm going to say Tommy 3 times, and then he's going to appear. And you guys are going to freak the out.
Chuck, this doesn't happen, man.
This happens all the time.
That's just something you do on the internet.
Remember our cult prayers? Come on, guys.
Yes, but...
All right, here we go. Let's just try it. Are you ready?
All right. This is ridiculous.
All right, here we go.
I can't believe we're in the bathroom.
I'm sweating profusely.
Tommy.
I mean...
So anyway, this has 64 points, and when you press down, it has a gyroscope, an accelerometer, wireless contact charging, LED lighting, color capacitive touchscreen.
Now, hopefully it wasn't too choppy on your end, because I'm still kind of working around on my end. But come on, man. You see these guys? All the hate that they've been getting, all the backlash that they've been getting this last few weeks, and they're still able to take it on the chin and have some fun with it. Now, the only thing that was off about that video was one of the guys kept on looking at the camera. But I mean, Retro Bro came out normal. That other DJC guy comes out as normal. They're just normal guys geeking out about a console, and they're getting a lot of hate about it. Now, the hate, I'm gonna say, is justified. It is, because it comes with the territory. So if you're gonna, shout out from the rooftops that the Amico, is great, then you're gonna get a lot of skepticism. Can't even say the word. A lot of skeptics out there. Now, when it comes to the cult, there is one, JT Smash, who cannot be trusted, obviously, because he has invested in the company. He invested $10K. He said it himself. He's not shy about it, so at least he's upfront about it, which I give him the benefit of the doubt now. But not when it comes to the Amico, because he's gonna say whatever he has to say to make sure that it sells, because obviously he has a conflict of interest. I would do the same, and so would you. So when it comes to the Amico, JT Smash can't be trusted because he has ulterior motives. Now when it comes to other stuff, cool, you do you. I like JT. I've been following his channel for about a year now. You know, he makes some good content sometimes. Most of the time, I don't watch because he doesn't upload anymore because he's not trying to be a YouTuber anymore. I don't know what he's doing anymore, but good for him. He's an investor now. And so when he talks about the Amico, that's what you got to pay attention to. Now, I also been following the haters because I also wanted to not be blinded by fanboyism because I can do that sometimes. I have an Xbox. I love my Xbox. And sometimes I get blinded by it. For example, the freaking record and upload on Xbox, that shit needs work. But that's a subject for another video. Now I've been watching a lot of the haters too. Punk NES, Pat and Ian from NES, the NES Punk, supposedly haters. I don't think they're haters at all either. They're pretty much giving just criticism the same way that I would if I was following this console. They have a lot of questions as I do. They have a lot of concerns. There's a lot of stuff that the Amico did wrong. It's already on a second delay, and it might be delayed again because unless it comes out in a few months, I'm not sure if it's going to make that October 2021 deadline, but we'll see. The lack of games, where I want to see more games. Where are the games at? There's a lot of criticism about it. We haven't really seen the gyroscope work. We haven't seen a close up with the controller. With all the games, we haven't seen 4 controllers using the same console. There's just a lot of stuff about the game the television Amico that we have questions about. So it's understandable when they have all these questions. And some of these Amico guys do take it personal. They take it as personal attacks. Now, if these haters are personally attacking you, like, bringing in your family, bringing in stuff that doesn't have to do with the internet or with gaming at all, then those fools should be ignored. And they should be shunned and, just don't pay attention to them and let them be them. They're ugly inside. That's it. But if people are just going to be criticizing you or calling you names like idiots, that, you guys need to chill because it's a harsh world out there. And if idiots is triggering you guys or, people laughing at you because things are jaw-dropping, then you guys need to chill. You guys need to learn how to take some criticism, even, harsh words. I mean, this is the year 2021. We have freaking fires in the ocean. People are dying, can't afford food, they can't afford rent, and you guys are getting triggered over words. Now, again, if they're attacking your family, that's another issue. Those guys are the scum of the earth. If they talk about personal problems you have in your life, that's neither here or there. Now, if you guys have personal beef because you guys know each other personally, again, that's between you guys, has nothing to do with me or you. So when it has to do with stuff like that, then just don't pay attention to it. But when it has to do with gaming, then all is fair in the Amico Wars. If you're going to be the person that's going to be, hyping the machine up, there's going to be those that see the flaws, and they're going to point them out. And that's just the way that it's going to be. So, to end it, is the Amico a scam? No. I don't think the Amico is a scam. I think Tommy is just being a cool CEO, hanging out with a good crowd of gamers who are excited for the product, and, want to see it succeed. It's a symbiotic relationship. Like I said, if I had the opportunity to sit down with Phil Spencer and geek out about Xbox or his next project, or a group of friends did that, then that would be the same way too. Now, would I ignore stuff that I didn't find savory, like the games? Probably not, because that's kind of the reason why I game, is the game, not for nostalgia, because I've never been nostalgic when it comes to video games, really. But I can see where these guys are coming from. They're just trying to have a good time. They're trying to, they're creating friends, and pretty much that's what gaming is all about. They have a cool CEO who's willing to take the time to show them the product, who's willing to take the time to joke around with them too, and not take things too seriously. But like I said, there are going to be people who criticize them, and they got to be thick-skinned and be able to take it. So no, I don't think the Amico is a scam. I think it's an opportunity for gamers to get together and geek out on tech that interests them, an opportunity for Tommy Tellerico to create a console, an opportunity for his investors to make some money, and pretty much an opportunity for everybody to game on a new console if they're interested in it. Now, will the Amico have longevity? I don't think it will. I think it might be a pump and dump console. But I don't think the Amico crowd really cares about it that it'll be a pump and dump. Sure, they would love for the Amico to have legs, and so would I. So would everybody, because we don't want to see these game consoles crash and burn. But it's gonna have an upside battle to say the least. And I don't think these gamers are gonna give it the push that it needs. It needs a more mainstream appeal. It's gonna need bigger gamers, bigger channels to approve of it. But even then, I don't think it's gonna have a long shelf life, because it's gonna come down to the games and the developers making games for it. And we still don't know a lot about that. We don't know if it's gonna be $10, $20 premium games, or DLC. Like, all that stuff is all up in the air. And that's the reason why we have the haters, because there's no concrete details on all this stuff that should be ironed out by now, given that the system's going to come out in a few months. So, there it is, The Amico isn't a scam. It's an opportunity. But it's also... there's also an opportunity for a lot of people to lose. So, there's going to be haters, and there's going to be those people who cap for it. Call them a cult if you like, but not all of them are cultish. Some of them are just trying to have a good time, and that's what I see. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for watching this first episode of Running with Pixels. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Well, I'm gonna play that again. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to my I'm still getting used to all my graphics and everything, to all this setup. So anyways, that's going to do it for this one. Take 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm going to be coming out with a set time for this, so that it gives people a heads up just in case they want to join. I'm thinking Thursdays, but I haven't quite decided yet. Maybe Mondays. Who knows? But I'll see you guys on the next Running from Pixels.